Hi everybody, it is Sunday and it is time for my mental health vlog, and I'm doing it in my office today. Woo! And I have a spinning chair, so it's a lot of fun. I love my spinning chair. Let's see what's been going on this week. This week's actually been a really good week. Got the house decorated for Halloween, which, as most of you know, is my favorite holiday. I love Halloween. It's always so much fun, and I really do get into it. And my boyfriend kind of told me he's never been able to really get excited about it or be excited about it. So he's excited that he gets to be excited about it this year with me in the new place. So it's been a lot of fun. We bought a few new decorations, not too much because we're on a pretty tight budget right now. Um, but we had a lot of fun with it. We got a big skeleton in the front yard. We named him Edgar Allan Bones. And we found him a little raven that's sitting on his shoulder. We tried to put it in his hand, but the hand just wasn't strong enough, so it's on his shoulder. And we've had some issues with some lights, getting him like underlit so it's nice and spooky. But I think I've got it worked out, and we'll see when the sun goes down tonight if it looks like I want it to look. So we'll see. My son got to see the decorations when he came over this weekend. We had him for the whole weekend, and honestly, it was one of the best weekends we've had with him. It really was great. He loved the decorations. We got some just for him. There's a character named Sam from a Netflix haunted movie called Trick or Treat. I know he's never seen the show or movie, but he likes the character because that's just something my son does. And we found a decoration that was of Sam, so we put him in the front yard, and we told him that it was just for him, and he got excited. He also got to see his room this weekend, which has a lot of stuff that was left behind when he moved out of the house a couple months ago. So I was so happy that I was able to take some of the stuff and bring it here that he didn't necessarily have room for in the apartment that they moved into. So I was quite happy when he saw some of the things that he thought he might not be able to see again, and it really warmed my heart. There were one or two things he asked if I found, and I told him, I didn't find those particular things, but it was great to see him react to some of the things he got to see. Let's see. I'll talk more about this weekend, but let me talk about the week first. Thursday night had my meeting with the guys, and that went really well. The topic was meeting people where they are, and it's something that I've kind of had to think about a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out if that's something that I do instinctively or innately or not at all. So that's just kind of floating around the back of my mind. Do I meet people and talk to people where they are? I know when it comes to my son, my ex and I have never talked to him or treated him like he was a child. We've always talked to him as if he was an equal, as if he was an adult. And I think that has played volumes in his maturity and incredibly impressive intellect. The kid is smart as shit. Scares me. But he's a brilliant kid. He's already skipped a grade. He's still in the gifted and talented program, and I will never pass up an opportunity to brag about him on that. But I think a lot of that has had to do with the fact that we've used big words with him, and we've told him what they've meant, but we've used big words with him. So we've is that not meeting him where he is, or is that I don't know. It was a topic that I wasn't really able to put into terms that I could grasp. Anyway, otherwise, it was a great meeting. We went to fellowship afterwards, and it was a really nice fellowship. I always love fellowship, even though it was crappy barbecue, expensive barbecue. Texas barbecue sucks. I'm sorry, it does. And there's two guys in my group that I have asked if either one of them would be able to be my sponsor. I'm thinking about making a sponsor switch because honestly, I haven't talked to my sponsor in over a year. And I haven't done any of my step work in over a year. And as comfortable as I am in my sobriety, I still need to be working the program. I still need to be doing my step work. And I think a change of partnership with a good sponsor might be the way to go for that. So I've reached out to two people who I have the utmost respect for, to see if they would be able or willing to be my sponsor. And I'm going to talk to them a little bit more throughout the week and see where we go. What's going on? Oh, my apartment, done. I've been all moved out for a while, but we finally had a cleaning lady go in and do the final walkout clean, and I turned in my keys and my moving badge, the parking badge, and and I'm done with the apartment. And I wasn't expecting to be emotional at all, but got a little bit, and just kind of thought about it. I know I talked about this a little bit before, but I'm proud of what I've accomplished in the last 2 years. And I've been in that apartment for 2 years where my life was rock bottom and I had to climb back up. Stumbled a lot along the way, had a lot of help from a lot of people along the way. But ultimately, I'm very proud of my growth. Personally, professionally, emotionally, as a human, as a partner, as a father. I'm really proud of what I've done. Sometimes even as a son. My relationship with my dad was non-existent 2 years ago, and we're not perfect, but we're at a much better place now than we were 2 years ago. So, speaking of my program, still dealing with the sexual anorexia. In fact, it kind of got put on the back burner with everything that was going on over the last few months, because it was starting to incline a little bit, become a little bit better. And then when my boyfriend, had the back surgery and then had the car accident, I don't know if that switched a trigger, but that any progress that I had made with the anorexia was shot to hell, and everything kind of went back to where it was before. So he and I have been talking about looking for a support group for couples dealing with the anorexia side of sex addiction, and he's found a couple that look interesting. So there's that. He met with his surgeon this week, and the surgeon is happy with the progress that he's made and the movement that he's got in his leg and his foot. And it is time for him to start some physical therapy, which we were kind of waiting on. We're like, okay, you need to be doing some physical therapy. So very excited that he's been referred to a physical therapist, and he can start that process of re-strengthening his leg and hopefully gaining some more mobility in the process, which we're very hopeful for. However, since it does appear like it's going to be a little bit of a long road, we're also talking to his doctor and physical therapist. We're going to talk to the physical therapist too about handicap placards, so he can park closer to the door, because it's hard for him to walk long distances, and also a mechanism for his vehicle that will allow him to drive without having to use the leg. There's a lot of steering wheel based mechanisms for people with permanent and temporary disabilities. So we're going down that road and seeing how much does it cost, which is not as much as we thought. Will insurance cover it, which we're looking into? And then is it something we can install ourselves or have to have professionally installed? So, definitely working on those types of things, but really progressing. He had been really down a few weeks ago. I think I talked about that too. And he's done a great job since he and I had a very heart-to-heart conversation, which was not easy to have. He is rephrasing things in his head. He's thinking about things differently. He's understanding and realizing that you have to accept the things you cannot change. Even if we feel they're going to change later, you have to accept them for what they are right now. And I'm very proud of him. And he's refocused on his mental health journey. And I'm very proud of him for that. I think there's a lot of people that are very proud of him for that. So that's awesome. So yes, this weekend with my son was absolutely amazing. We had him for the whole weekend, which has been so great because I haven't been able to see him for the last 2 weeks because of the COVID scare. And then he went to Dallas last weekend with his dad. Such a great time. We went to Taekwondo on Friday. We watched him do his Taekwondo rehearsal. He was tired. And I'm like, okay, well, then you'll go to sleep all night, but you still have to go through class. So he did class. And then we stopped and got Taco Bueno, which is one of our favorite little drive-through taco places in Katy, which is on the way home from Taekwondo. And we had food, and then we got back to the house, and we just kind of, piddled around a little bit, watched a little bit of TV, and just, whatever, because as soon as we get back from Taekwondo, it's pretty much his bedtime. So he got in his jammies, and he's got to see his room, which he was super excited about, and then when he went to sleep, the next morning, Saturday, we got up early, so we had to take my boyfriend's dog into the groomer, and then we had to meet the cleaning lady at the apartment, and then we were meeting some friends of ours for lunch, but before we did that, we wanted to go to Build-A-Bear. Because I'd asked my son, I'm like, hey, are you still into Build-A-Bear? No, I don't want to do it. I've outgrown that. And then my boyfriend's like, well, I've never done it. I want to do it. Can we go so I can do it? Hint, hint, wink, wink. Let's try and get, my son interested in doing something fun. So we went to the mall and went to Build-A-Bear. And as soon as my boyfriend started picking out a bear and going through the process of getting him stuffed, my son, who had already eyeballed something a couple times, went back to it. And he's like, I want to show you this. This is really cool. I'm like, would you like to get one? And he's like, yeah. So it was a Jawa from Star Wars. I don't know, Star Wars, right over my head. But it made him happy. And, we haven't done something like that in a while. So it was just kind of a fun little thing to do. Then we had lunch with some friends that he had met before, friends of my boyfriend's and mine now. And we had empanadas, which he had never had before. So he was, he tried something new. And then we had, we did a few more errands around like Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff. And he helped with all that because he loves being a help. And that's awesome. And then we came back to the house and we ordered pizza and we just chilled. We played Smash Brothers and we ate pizza and we watched some cartoons, some new Animaniacs, some old Animaniacs, which love Animaniacs. I love that they're on Hulu. And just had a great night. And we let him stay up a little bit late. And then my boyfriend gave is the wrong word. My boyfriend has asked him to watch over some of his old stuffed friends from when he was a kid so that they can be with my son's friends while they're here, stuffed friends. And my son totally ate it up. And he was squeezing the little lion that my boyfriend, wants him to watch and take care of. So it was really super sweet. Today we got up and we went to the grocery store to get some eggs because we were making breakfast. And on the way, he went with me to the grocery store. And then coming back, I said, well, we need to get these to my boyfriend so we can start making, breakfast or brunch. And he was like, well, can I help? I said, I think he would really like that. So absolutely. And I was so excited because my boyfriend has been wanting to have that kind of moment with him where they're cooking together and having fun. So they made pancakes together. My son was amazing, did an amazing job with the pancakes. He wanted whipped cream. I got smacked in the face with whipped cream. 8-year-olds cannot be trusted with whipped cream, nor can boyfriends, because I'm pretty sure he was involved in that planning process. But I was listening and observing from a distance with them being in the kitchen, and it was so adorable to see them really bonding and having a great time in the kitchen over pancakes. And then we ate, we all sat on the couch and we ate our breakfast, and then we started watching the new Addams Family movie on Apple TV, and we just all kind of were laying on each other and snuggling with each other, and the dog was involved, and it was great. It was the kind of moment that I really live for with my new family, and it was just a heartwarming, great weekend. And then he wanted to stay longer today. I reached out to my ex to see if we could keep him a little bit longer. The ex kind of said no because there was some stuff that, he wanted to do with my son. My son was then super upset, which made me feel awesome. So I can't lie. It made me feel awesome that he was upset that he had to leave. But then we dropped him off, and then we went on Facebook Marketplace, and I found this person who was selling a curio cabinet for $100, and it was beautiful, and it was right in the same zip code of where we were dropping off my son. So that was a no-brainer. I showed it to my boyfriend because we were looking for a curio cabinet, and he was like, "Yeah, that's perfect." So we picked it up on the way home. So anyway, just a great weekend overall. I really can't think of anything bad that happened this week, except for I had a schedule with Empire Carpet on Friday at the house in Katy that I had to drive down to and wait 2 hours to be at. They never showed and never called, so that kind of sucked. But beyond that, it was just a great week, and I absolutely love it. I'm way over time, but I had a lot of good stuff to talk about. So that's it for me this week. Sorry. Check on your friends. Make sure they're doing okay. Check on your loved ones. Make sure they're doing okay. Check on yourself. Make sure you're doing okay. And really relish the happy moments when they happen. This is today's Halloween shirt. Powerpuff Girls meets the Sanderson sisters, because I love Hocus Pocus. All right, guys. Have a good one. Happy Halloween month, and I will see you all next week. Bye.